spent the better half of this week trying to figure out like what to say here. It all really just boils down to this is it. It's over. There's no more. So thank you all for being with us and supporting us. But now it's winter time and we can't grow any more chickens, so I'm not sure what to do. I'm just kidding. I know exactly what I can do. We're not done, y'all. We're not done. Tricked ya. This thing right here, it's time to do something with it. Alright, so this thing, if I remember correctly, I honestly don't remember why I built it. By the way it looks, I want to say it was a chicken tractor, but I'll have to go back into my memories, not memories, but like my other videos and see why I built this. But obviously has a door, put tin on the bottom. I've used it as like a storage thing for a while. Stored a lot of stuff in here. I stored feed in here for a bit, and then we got that barn thing. And so, yeah, it's got wheels on it. I'm sure it was a chicken tractor at one point. But what we're gonna make it now is our processing facility. Because one thing I learned, and one thing I'm going to try to do better at, is making sure I have a more consistent amount of birds throughout the months, rather than growing them 8 weeks, batch selling them 8 weeks, people having to wait 8 weeks. Not that I'm losing customers, I just don't have the constant customers as if I were to at least have them monthly. So we're going to do that, and by doing that, I don't want to have to set up everything in the driveway just in case I can't. I also want it to be able to have everything in one spot set up all the time. So that's what we're going to do here. Plus working on being able for people to bring me their birds and having a more consistent area to process is going to be valuable. So that is what we're doing. This is just the beginning. This is the tear down stage. I believe I'm going to be able to replace this tarp. I got a tarp the other day while I was working, but I didn't know the dimensions, so I don't know if it'll work. It's a 10 by 12. I'm pretty sure it'll work for this. The one that's on is definitely way larger. So this is the new one. So this is video 1 of making our chicken processing facility. Because if you're not growing, you're not growing. There's a saying for that. I've lost it. What's cool about this place is this greenery because of the tarp being torn up. If I would have had this as a kid, or my dad would have had this as a kid and like wasn't using it, I'd have been like, Dad, can I make this into like a hangout fort area? Because like, I don't know, it kind of feels like Jurassic Park-ish. I don't know, like decay, living like off the land, like post-apocalyptic type of feeling. It's a pretty cool feeling. But nature. There were some rats living in here, but the chickens got a hold of them. That was good. And the cats, because I left the door open for a while so that the cats could get in here. Mainly Meek. But this thing did pretty cool. It was pretty cool when I made it. This again. If you're coming across this, I know I'm talking while I'm moving, sorry. If you're just coming across this and you've made it this far into the video, let me assure you that, like I said, this was one of the first structures I made. This one and my actual chicken coop down there, out of the panels, and some simple, honestly I think it's 2x4s along the bottom, possibly even some 2x6s. Can't really see them right this second. And this simple hog panel turn over into a hoop house, put some temporary walls. I mean, this stuff, sometimes when it's made simple, it makes a lot of sense and works for a long time. This has been here for a while. So is my chicken coop. I did replace the tarp. Tarp obviously is not gonna last the longest, but I replaced the tarp down there mainly because the goats got a hold of it. This tarp, sun tore it up. But you can tell this side where the sun is tore up. This side where the sun is not is still good. It's still viable. Huh? Maintenance stuff. Structure, the bones are good. The bones are good. So, gotta get all that greenery off of there. Get that greenery off of there. Let me get the greenery off of there, and then I'll touch more on like I'll walk you through my thought process on how I'm gonna have things set up. I'll show you my wheel setup I did. These gloves do not want to come off easy. This was probably one of my coolest inventions that I did when I first started out. So it was a chicken tractor. Of course, here's the wheel setup. What I did is I had it where, well, obviously it's not gonna work now because it's rotted, but man, that stinks. This one is not rotten. So here's the bolt. This goes in out. There's a hole right here. And so I would lift it like that. And then this would slide into the hole. And then I pull it out and it would drop it back down. So, pretty neat. I was pretty proud of it. It was my first invention to make things simpler, especially moving it because it was a little heavier. Which I think this thing is actually lighter than that first actual Susquehanna chicken tractor that I made, because that thing was made out of actual like raw cut lumber. It's heavy. All right, let me walk you through my thought process so far. So right now, you can see I can't back up any further. This opening right here, my thought is to make it a wall. I want to close in both sides. Okay, I'm going to close in that side, and then put like a fan out top so there will be air moving in there, but also, you know, flies, things like that. So closing that fan up top. Yo, check it out. Sorry, ADD, but I just found some hibernating lizards. So pause for a minute. I'm going to move them to a safer hibernation spot because I've got work to do in here and I don't want to hurt them. That's cool. I moved them over to my my shiitake logs that aren't producing shiitakes. So they're just sitting there rotting. And it'll be better for them. Now let me walk you through my plan. So closing the door. Closing this, right? But I want to make it where this whole wall will open, okay? And on the door here will be probably, if I can find some sheet metal or some of that white, like wall material that's used in like kitchens and things like that. Something that's easily sprayed off and cleaned off. This will be where the cones will be. And I want it to funnel to one bucket at the bottom, okay? So think about it. This opens up, boom. So that way you have your chickens, get your chickens cones. Or it opens this way. Either way, one of these ways it's gonna open, because I think I'm gonna move my process on this side. Kill cones. So if we do it on this side, kill cones, right here. Let's get in this, it's getting the light, there we go. Kill cones over here. Man, it will not, the sun is messing me up. Okay, over here, whoop, this caused my skin, my pale white skin. So over here, let's do this, will be scald. Over here, we pluck. Well, with the plucker, of course, you have to run water. I'm going to actually put a plucker on a platform, and underneath that platform will be a grate, and that will run the water out to the chicken. It'll be, I'll dig a trench and it'll go out because I have a spout over here that runs into the chicken coop, chicken pen. Pluck, wall. This right here, obviously I'm going to take these 1x3s down. Right here is where I'm going to have my processing table. So it's all quick motions, like bam, 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 stop, 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 stop. Underneath the table will be where I put my innards and discards. Stop, stop, stop. And then, of course, you'll walk back out and you'll put them in a chill tank and coolers. So I have a buddy who has a stainless steel table that I'm working on getting from him that I'm going to put in here. But what do y'all think? Bam, 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 bam. All quick motions. Plus, it'll still have a little bit of room. It's definitely perfect for me. I could probably get 2 people in here, but for hosting classes. But if I'm hosting classes, honestly, I can set up in the driveway, because when you're hosting classes, of course, you're expecting more people, and it's a lot more planned out. Excuse me. So you know when you'll be doing it. It's not going to be monthly. I could host monthly classes. I don't necessarily have to when I'm doing 30 birds. I don't know. We'll fill that part out too, because that's another part of growing, our business and stuff. Teaching people how to do it, but allowing people to bring their stuff to us as well. So I think it's going to work out relatively well. I think it's going to give us ample room, especially because that stainless table isn't as long, so you'll still have some room in here. Plus, I will run electricity to it because there is a line underneath the ground that runs to the barn. So I will only need, I'll need electricity for the plucker, of course, a fan, and then we'll do something about lighting. Definitely need lighting, because once we no longer have a skylight, we'll need to be able to see in here. Another thing is the hose that runs to the watering system. Why am I losing my words? So the hose that I have connected to the house over here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run a spigot piece here. So I can hook the hose up there. Obviously I'll use the drinkable water hose. That's what I always use. So drinkable water hose will run to here for temporary use. That way, and then I can run line up and over the station, because water, when you're cleaning off table, cleaning birds before putting them in the chill tank, run another line, and then for over the plucker like that, and I can do another line right here for filling up the scalding bucket. Boom. And then maybe I could invest in like a electric water heater for the scald bucket, but it'll be faster and it won't use as much gas. Planning is essential. I know I've failed at planning many times in the past. This is a rough plan, but I have faith in the plan, in this plan. But so follow along with me. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be awesome. Wintertime project. Let's get it going. Because next year is 2025. And you know what? 25 is a good number. 25 is a good number. That's what we'll do. So now I gotta take apart this old tarp, put a new tarp on there. So enjoy the time lapse. That's what I feared. The tarp's not big enough. It's definitely big enough this way. I knew it was 8 foot long. I didn't know about the curve. So that's an 8 by 12, I said. And so I probably will need it's a 10 by 12. Got like a 10 by 20. So you never have too many tarps. I do need to replace the tarp on the other chicken tractor, so boom. Now y'all just use this tarp. I will have to go get another tarp. Alright, so got a new tarp. We'll hammer it down and tighten it up and we'll be good to go. So, you've seen me hammer stuff before. It's not that interesting. Once I finish, I will be done. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Enjoy the series coming up with me building this. It is a 12-foot long one, so I will actually have a little bit of overhang. And we'll figure that out together, you and I. So, but for the time being, the roosters will crow, and we will row. Appreciate y'all.